When you're a public figure, people will write and say false things about you. It comes with a territory. Many of those things you brush aside, many you ignore. The people close to you advise you that silence is best, and it often is. Sometimes, though, silence makes a lie begin to take on the shimmer of truth. And that's the quote for today. And this is from Chimamanda's blog post earlier this week. Okay, you can check it out on our website. It's a very good piece and I think everyone can learn something from it. Okay, so welcome back to my podcast, and this is Yemi hosting you today. Of course, it's going to be me every time, but yeah. But in case it's your first time, welcome back to my podcast. So this is the second time I'm recording this thing because somehow I was basically talking to myself the very first time I recorded, so I had to just redo this. I don't know what happened with sound, but that kind of got messed up, so yeah, I pretty much just had to do it myself again. Anyways, I'm back now and we're going to do this episode. Okay, I almost backed out, but here I am. Okay, so how has this week been for you? This week for me has been somehow, and I genuinely want answers onto about how this week has been for you. Okay, I didn't just want to talk about my own self and then you guys not say anything. So yeah, thank you for listening to me today, though. It's glad to have you back listening to me again. So yeah, for me, my week has been, it's been all sorts. I mean, I have been mentally stressed. So if we're going to talk about music that I've been listening to, I have been listening to Beethoven. I know that just sounds weird. I've listened to Moonlight Sonata for some time, simply because I just needed some form of calm for my racing brain. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to. So you can check that out. I've been listening to it through YouTube. So yeah, just the Moonlight Sonata. That's all. Nothing else. Apart from like my personal mental stress or whatever, which has been because of the story I was trying to publish. It's my very first time, self-publishing, and wow, I think I underestimated how much work would go into it. I mean, apart from like editing by yourself, which is a lot of work, I wish I could actually outsource that, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Uploading like your content and ensuring that everything, is the way you want it to be, or everything looks the way you want it to look like is definitely a lot of work. So I had already uploaded by like Tuesday, I think, and in my mind I was just waiting for like approval or something, and then I found errors, and so I had to like unpublish. And with Kindle, I noticed that you can, so ordinarily you could upload and set a date for it to go live, but it has to be like pre-ordered. So, and you're only allowed to pre-order or to keep using the pre-order feature if you have used it once and it worked well for you. So because I had to like unpublish or delete my whatever I published because of the error that I found out, I did not have the opportunity to set like a pre-order date anymore. They kind of like, I think it's part of their rules or whatever. I didn't really like go through their rules, to be honest. The only thing I went through was like the format that they wanted me to use to publish. So yeah, that happened, and I had to go back and do a lot more work than I anticipated. And I also tried to publish on Google Play as well, which which has decided to just stress me out. So apparently, because my account is new, I don't even know if it's because my account is new, it's definitely taking a long time for them to approve my account. Not even my book, to approve my account. I don't know what's going on or why it's taking so long. So that's like one of the things I've been battling with. So I guess it will go live as soon as they approve my account. Maybe because it's new, I really don't know what the reasons are. But that's like the other thing that I have been going through, or I've been dealing with this book. So yeah, it's been a week. So I would love to outsource my editing, but I really don't know how that works, because I've noticed from working on a movie, I realized if I outsource editing a movie, I have to still be there to see that you're doing things the way I want them to be done. Like I can't just like leave the clips with you and be like, yeah, just, it's not like a commercial, it's not a product shoot, it's an actual movie. So you kind of have to still be there to ensure that the story is going the way you want it, the kind of angles that you want to be present are there, the emotions you want to capture are there. And if the person you're giving it to doesn't really understand the story, you're just going to get nonsense back. So what's the point of me outsourcing it if I say have to sit down beside you to say, okay, I want this or I want that. So that's kind of like the issue I have with like outsourcing, and I feel that way about outsourcing a story for someone to edit, because I'm just thinking if it was a self-help book, maybe I could just really do that way. But for a story or a novel, I feel like it's going to be difficult to just outsource. People do it, which I mean, established authors probably did do it, but for me that's still a budding writer and still like trying to find out my own writing style and stuff like that. There's certain things about my story that I just want to remain the way it is, and if I give it to someone to edit, they might just take those things out and my story loses authenticity and all that. So that's like the struggle of being a new writer. So yeah, that's like what I've been dealing with, and I intend to also publish on, I think, Okada Books. I'm not too sure yet, because like it's another platform. I had to figure out how to use that one again, so that's like something else to think about. But yeah, that's pretty much how my publishing life has been going, or my writing life has been going, and because of that I've not been able to like read something new, and that's not nice. I really want to get back to reading short stories, and the one I'm considering, I mentioned one last week. I mentioned Ghana Must Go, that I started reading. It's not a short story, by the way, but I started reading the sample and I was feeling like I wasn't ready for the story, so I kind of paused on that, and I would probably go back at some other time, maybe later in the year. I'm not too sure, but possibly. The one I'm trying to read right now is Love in Color. I don't know if you've heard about it. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a book of short stories, and I really want to try it out. I want something that's a bit lovey-dovey and has a good amount of romance, and the author promises a good amount of romance inside, so I'm like, okay, let's try it out. Let's see what that's going to look like. So that's what I'm excited about reading, and I'm kind of done uploading. I'm really just waiting for approval from the two platforms where I uploaded. So I guess once it goes live, I would like let people know that it's out, and people can go read my story and let me know what they think about it. Okay, so I'm really counting on you to read and let me know what you think. I am kind of excited and nervous at the same time, but yeah, I would like to see what people think about the story. I avoided reading mainly because I don't want people's like stories, or I don't want what I'm reading to influence me and then I'll go back and start editing. It's kind of the way I felt about watching movies too. So when I was working on editing the movie Lydia's Hurdle with my partner, with my friend, we were editing this movie, and for a while we really couldn't watch movies that much. Like I was watching movies and I was really just paying attention to, instead of enjoying the story or enjoying how the story is going, I was pretty much just looking at camera angles like, oh, I can put a camera there. That makes sense. Oh, that was a good shot. I like that. That's pretty much what I was doing. So it could be a crappy story, or it could be an amazing story. I will not be paying attention to the story. I'm pretty much just looking, wow, that's such a good angle. So I could do that to a dress. Imagine we had this. There was one time where I was pretty much just going through actors' Instagram pages, and then there was one time I saw, I could use a dress. I could use like a hairdryer like this. I didn't know that. I'll keep that for next time. So I pretty much stayed away from like reading stories because of that reason. I don't want to like see something and then go back and like, maybe I can, maybe I should change my story, or maybe I should write it like this, or maybe I should switch something. Maybe this is not going to sound right. Maybe people are going to think this is stupid. I don't know. I didn't want to start second guessing myself again, which I already do every day. It's a chore. So maybe third guessing, if that's a word. But yeah, I don't want to be doing that, so that's why I stayed away. But I will be going back to reading soon, and I'm excited to go back to reading new stories. So yeah, that's pretty much how my week went. 4 days just went like that, because today's Thursday and you'll be listening to this episode tomorrow, which is Friday. So yeah, but I'm excited about the weekend. I'm hopeful. I hope that everyone has like a lovely weekend. I hope that you enjoy your weekend. June is like really running fast in my own eyes, though, because this is like the 3rd week, and next week is like, okay, it's almost over, but then although there's still like a couple more days the following week, June is kind of running away, and then at some point we're just going to look and be like, wow, half of the year is actually gone. But yeah, there's still a lot. There's still like 6 months. There's a lot you can still do or achieve in 6 months, so there's no need to be discouraged, okay? So just, keep, pursuing what it is you are pursuing or what you're trying to do. I almost backed out of 2 things this week. One is completing the book and like publishing, because I already published, and I took it down because of some things, and I was now thinking to myself, maybe I really shouldn't do this anymore. Maybe I should just, pack up and go. But I don't want to be 50 or I don't know, 80 or whatever age, and then thinking to myself, I really should have just written that story. And more importantly, there's this thing I think about: when God gives out ideas or gives people like ideas to do something, it doesn't just give it to one person. I feel like he gives it to a lot of people. I mean, how they, form it or how they, work with it will be different, but then he gives it to a lot of people. And then the first few people that run with it kind of create something, and then they're ahead, and then you thought yours would be unique and different, and maybe even surpass the ones that, or your method would even surpass the methods that these other people used. You'll be there looking like, wow, I should really have just done it. I mean, you're not the only one that's thinking about that idea, so it's who is executing. That's why people say execution is like more important than like just having ideas. So I'm just saying, I don't want to be like some 50-year-old thinking to myself, I really could have just written the story. I really could have just done this. I mean, there's no way you're going to do it without starting. So, if you want to write, go ahead and start writing. If you want to sing, go ahead and start singing. If you want to do YouTube, go ahead and open your YouTube channel. If you want to, what else? You want to act, go ahead and find gigs. Just do something. You don't want to regret. So you regret the things that you did not try a lot more than the things that you did that maybe you failed at. So go ahead and try. Okay, I'm just here to encourage you. But yeah, so I talked about that. I was not able to go out this week. Because I don't know the malls were not open. I mean, the malls are open, but like the stores were not open, which is really why I want to go to the mall. I want to see stores. I want to see clothes. I want to see stuff to buy, even though I might not buy it, but I just want to see stuff. So even though the malls are open, a lot of the stores are still like trying to get themselves together. I heard that they might be open on Fridays. I'd say today, by the time you listen to this podcast, it'll be today, right? So it'll be Friday. So I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to go out tomorrow, or maybe this weekend or the next. I'm not too sure, but however that happens, I am excited to see stores and see physical stores and see clothes. That's it. I think the border might be, I don't know if it's open yet. No, I think just like a certain area is open, maybe Manitoba, US side. So a lot of the borders are still like closed. That's like Canada, around Canada. So I'm hoping that it get open soon, and yeah, people will be able to fly out and do everything. People are flying out already though. I mean, if you're vaccinated, you might as well just get out if you have the money to. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my week, and I'm hoping that you have a lovely week. Like I said, go ahead and start whatever it is that you are thinking about, whatever it is that you're considering like starting. Go ahead and do it. You don't want to regret anything, so go ahead and start. That's it from me today. I hope that you do have an amazing weekend, and I hope that the new week would be fruitful and restful and enjoyable for you. See you guys next episode. Bye.